Hey y'all, it's Abby and welcome back to the Swatchosaurus YouTube channel. Today I have something a little bit different for you today. Not that I have like a normal kind of flow. I kind of just make whatever kinds of videos I want and then hope that y'all are like down to hang with that. And so far you have been, so I appreciate that. But today I wanted to do a reflection on 2025 without kind of the bulk of here's everything I made in 2025. So I decided to do a reflection of like my year in firsts. So these are things that I've done for the first time in 2025. And since I'm fairly new to fibercraft, that was easy to do. So I picked some highlights that are going to cover like the span of my year and highlight the things that I did for the first time. And it's going to be in a like voiceover format while I am spinning some beautiful yarn. And I hope that you enjoy it. I hope that you're able to make yourself comfortable and that this is a time for you to just relax and enjoy. And with that, I will turn it over to voiceover Abby. So this is some footage of me spinning up this gorgeous Montana Corriedale in the colorway Poison Apple by Apothecary Fibers. I have two 4-ounce braids of this, and by the time this is posted, I have already spun it all up and I'm planning on using all of it to make the Jaunty Shawl by Andrea Mowry. I am super excited. The yarn turned out gorgeous. I'll have to stick some pictures in for you all at the end so you can see what the finished yarn looked like. And of course, as we continue making podcast videos, I'll be showing you my progress on the knitted jaunty. It's going to be super cool. And with that, let's get into my year in firsts. If you've been following my videos for a bit, you'll probably recognize most of these, but I hope you still enjoy taking a moment to make together and to reflect on my year in crafts. All right, number 1, 2025 brought my first published pattern. This is the Celestial Charm Pillow by me. It's a crochet pattern I designed for Kayla at Little Loopy as part of her December yarn advent. It is worsted weight and made to accommodate 11 20-gram minis and one 100-gram full skein, but would be an excellent stash buster for more colors or whatever is in your stash. It's up on Ravelry now, and the link is in the description. I am really proud of this project. Guys, it's super vulnerable putting your work out there for other people to see, and it feels even more vulnerable to have it be included in something like an advent and just kind of hoping that folks don't feel like the pattern is kind of a throwaway component. But I did it, and I am so, so glad I did. I don't know that pattern designing is going to be a super prominent part of my crafting journey, but now that I've gotten my first one under my belt, it's definitely less of a daunting concept. So should the inspiration strike again, it'll be a little easier to get that off the ground. I also got my first spinning wheel in 2025. It's the wheel I'm spinning on now in this footage. Her name is Dottie, short for Dorothy. She's an Ashford traditional, and I am in love. I brought her home in June, and the cost, woof, definitely used up my birthday gift and Yule gift budgets for the year, and then some. So there were no birthday or solstice gifts for me from Cam this year. But who cares? I have a spinning wheel! And then I was like, okay, great. I have a wheel. I'm done now. I'm gonna chill with Dottie for a bit before I need to grow my flock. But already it had been like 6 months, and in January I went up to Fiber Blitz in Wisconsin to score a dataless Dove e-spinner. So, joke's on me, I have no chill whatsoever about anything ever. Ever. It goes without saying that I am certainly hooked on spinning, and I am so glad that this hobby joined my fiber toolbox this year. The Dove still needs a name, and I'm hoping the right one finds me in 2026 as I continue to use her and get to know her. And that brings us to number 3. Since I had my spinning wheel in time, I was able to join the Chaos Goblin spinning team for Tour de Fleece. I made a bunch of videos documenting my process and everything I made, so definitely check out the playlist card in the corner if you need more spinning content. This first gave me a bunch of mini firsts as I made my way through my first finished yarns. I tried so many different sheep breeds, wool preparations, spinning and plying techniques, and loved the opportunity to hyperfixate on spinning and just play around with my wheel. And lately, I've been using some of those yarns in projects and confronting the juxtaposing joy of, I made this from literal floof, and the, oh my goodness, I can see how inconsistent and imperfect it is, and I can definitely do so much better now. But like, remembering that those early spins are what helped me build my skills so that I can do better now. Not to say that my spinning technique is superb now, far from it, but it's just cool to have like tangible proof of growth, you know? Number 4 goes out to my first raw fleece. Now, number 4 is not a first I thought I'd get to cross off my list of firsts in 2025. Not at all. But the universe conspired and I acquired my first raw fleece from one of Cam's friends. The sheep weren't kept to be able to sell their fleeces, and the fleece wasn't shorn to be skirted, scoured, carded, and turned into like wool for spinning, which made it perfect, honestly, for me to practice and learn on for my first time doing all the steps. I live in an apartment and can't use my bathtub for the scouring process, so I didn't think there'd be a way to do all the work needed. I just couldn't imagine what the solution would look like. All the online searches I did relied heavily on the bathtub or a utility sink or having a yard and a hose hookup, all of which aren't exactly a fit for my situation. However, my lovely group of fiber friends helped me brainstorm solutions, and before I knew it, Cam and I were hauling huge pots of boiling water into our building's basement and dumping dirty water into a drain in the floor. All approved, of course, all above board. And again, through the power of fiber friendship, my friend taught me how to use her drum carder so I could turn my scoured wool into these lovely bats that are ready to be spun up. Truly, this was wild. I learned so much through this process, not only about the steps for cleaning and prepping wool, but also about how much strain this work puts on my body and some accommodations that I can build into the process next time so that I can take care of myself better. All that to say, I don't think I'm going to be rushing to get my next raw fleece for quite some time. It's a lot of work and it really does exhaust my body to prep it in my current setup. But how fucking cool is it that I can say that I took this on? So cool is the answer. And of course, we know this. We're friends here. I have no chill. So I sit here and I say to you, I'm a long ways off from this, but check back in a month or two and I'll probably be swimming in raw fleeces. I wrote down in for the script for this, LOL. So just know that I'm laughing out loud a lot. All right, number 5 brought us our first cable, lace, and stranded colorwork projects. So, a thing about me is that if anything is intimidating to me, I don't tend to stay intimidated very long. I tend to just go for it and make ugly things that I love and then learn what I'm doing. However, these didn't even turn out ugly. I did choose easy patterns to get started and I took my time trying to get things right. They are not perfect at all. My stranded color work needs some work, particularly on my tension on like ends of my magic loop. But overall, these were quick win projects that helped me build skills I'll need to do even more elaborate color work, cables, and lace. all of which I'm way more willing to do and consider doing thanks to these projects. So, a really good first, a really good win for 2025, and bodes well for future creations, perhaps even in 2026. All right. This one was weird because I literally used to live 30 minutes away from the fairgrounds where they host the Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival every year, but I didn't go while I was living there. I was just getting into fiber crafting at the time, and I think the idea of it felt so overwhelming given how large it is. So I just didn't go to a sheep and wool festival while I was living in Maryland. I had gone to smaller yarn festivals in Maryland, just not like a sheep and wool festival, TM. Fast forward to moving to Chicago. I'm now just about 2.5 hours away from the Wisconsin Sheep and Wool Festival, and this September I got to go, and honestly, it was perfect. It was the right size and the right amount of busy, and I loved being able to see all the Midwestern yarn and fiber businesses and farms, and of course, cry at every single sheep because they were just doing such a good job. It was beautiful. I don't have any footage of me there. I like purposefully kept my phone in my bag to try to avoid getting overstimulated or bump into people from not paying enough attention. And Kim and my cousin Ellen came with me, and we had so much fun. It was such a fun day. And even though we bought everything together, like we literally went to all the booths and were like looking at each other's stuff while we were checking out and stuff, we still came home and did a wrap up show and tell where we actually got to like pass everything around and scheme about what we're going to make with these lovely purchases. So it was truly a magnificent first in 2025, and we already all have plans to go back. So Ellen's going to be flying in from Colorado in September, and we're going to go up again and make a day of it because it was that good. So I'm hooked. I'm in on sheep and wool festivals for real. And for my final first of 2025, it would be so silly of me not to mention this very YouTube channel. Indeed, the very channel you're watching right now came into being in 2025. So, first number 7 is my very first YouTube video, C card in the corner. As I've mentioned numerous times, I have no chill about anything. So when I started fiber crafting, it took no time at all for me to become completely fixated on it, and before I knew it, I was looking for a way to document my journey and connect with people. And the Swatchosaurus YouTube channel was born, named after my T-Rex cookie jar I used to store my swatches. This channel has been really fun to build, and I'm really glad that all of you are here with me. And I'm just realizing that I put a colon parentheses smiley face in my notes and that you cannot see that, so I am telling you it's there. It's symbolic of me smiling at the thought of you all being here with me. It's cute, okay? So now that we've wrapped up 2025, here's to 2026. May it be filled with more firsts, more seconds, thirds, and fourths, more fiber joy, more wool adventures, more crafting community, and more whimsical weird shit. And if you're able, more crafting with cats. And may this creative communal work help give us energy so that we can continue to resist the oppressive systems that shape so much of our world, and also stoke our imaginations so that we can continue to believe that a better, more equitable future is possible. This is why I make. And now, late into February, I've finished my first several objects of the year already. And do not be scared, I started all of them in 2025 and they're mostly accessories. So it's still cool, just not like mind-blowingly impressive or maybe concerning. It's fine. And with that, there's really only one thing left to say. And that is, so anyway, thanks for visiting my craft land. You are invited back anytime. If you'd like to stick around, a like, comment, subscription, or watching other videos will definitely make sure that the algorithm brings us together again in the future. And with that, I will see you then. Bye!